G'day mates, welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going through how you can become the best trio player possible, how you know what the best role for you is, what the different roles in competitive trios are, and how you can find teammates that complement those roles. So I'm going to go into the three main roles of competitive trios after this. I'm going to break down how you know which role you fit into, and then what you can work on to make sure that you are the best you can possibly be at that role. It's why competitive trios are such a great mode. In solos, you have to be good at everything. If you make one wrong decision, it's all over. In trios, you can find two other people who have different skill sets to you and together become the best team you can possibly be. And I want to show you how you can do that today. If you like today's video, please chuck a like on it. Let me know in the comment section down below once I talk about the roles, which one you are and who you'd like me to VOD review in future. Because my future content for this is going to be breaking down people who fit these different roles so you know which one you are and what playstyle you are, and then how you can improve based on what they're doing. So if you want to see that kind of content, please subscribe to my channel with post notifications on. I'd appreciate it massively. You guys are showing so much love on the YouTube channel right now, and it's motivating me more and more to smash out more content like this. So thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the video. All right, let's break down the three key roles that every trio should have. Number one is the IGL, the in-game leader. This is the person with the brains behind them. This is the person who normally has the most competitive Fortnite experience, or they're just the smartest player. They're going to be telling everyone where to go, when they should launch pad, when they should go for height, what they should be doing. Role 2 is the Fragger. This is what most people fall into because most people don't know anything better. They just want to look for kills. This is the player who normally has the best mechanics. They're the one who's the best at getting eliminations and getting map refreshes and then getting them to the third role, which is the Tarper. The Tarper is the person who endgame is going to be doing most of the building. They're the one who's going to be building those beautiful tunnels into zone, giving you, the Fragger or the IGL, the clear path to get into zone. This is the person who needs to look out for elevation. Should they be going up? Should they be going down? This is going to be a combination player. You have to be quite smart to know when you should go and where you should go. You also have the mechanics to be able to build the tarps as well. Again, I'm going to go into more detail on each of those roles now, but I just wanted to make sure that you're across what those three roles are. Role number one, the big brain, the leader, the person who is telling everyone what to do and how to do it. This is a tough role. The person who's going to be suited for this is going to be a smart player who has good communications, is patient, and can keep the team together. This is the kind of person that you want to be listening to. When you think of pro players, this is your Zate, this is your Chap. These are the people who know how the game works and how you're going to get the win. Okay? Now, you need a clear IGL in every single team, the person who has the final say. Quite often, I'll watch games, I'll hear everyone talking, high ground, low ground, person on me, nomads, what's happening? At the end of the day, the IGL should be making the decision. They're the one who should be able to speak clearly and have everyone listen to them. We're going for height now. We're going to drop down now. We need to look for an elimination. There's a player on my wall. It's that kind of clear communication of what you're doing that the IGL has to have. The issue is, if your IGL makes a wrong decision, it is going to eliminate the whole team. It's a hard role. It's arguably the most important role, but at the same time, some people are better suited to it than others. This is usually someone who maybe doesn't necessarily have the best mechanics. If you think about someone like Chap and you compare it to someone like Clicks, while Chap doesn't have the same mechanical skill as Clicks does, he doesn't spend all day doing wages, he is such an incredibly smart player and he leads his team to victory. He knows where to go and how to get there. It's just as important of a role, if not more important. Some people are better suited to it than others. Quite often you'll find the best IGLs are the older players. Doesn't mean you have to be older, but the whole idea of boomer brain, this is where it comes from. Usually older players know more about the game, they're a little bit more calm, and they have good communication. These are the things you're going to need to work on if you want to be a good IGL. If you think you would make a good IGL, then that's fine. Make sure you find a team that complements that. Find a team that has really, really good mechanics and lead them. It's quite often what I do in competitive Fortnite. Now, the main misconception here is if you're the IGL, you don't have to be the Tarper. Some teams, the IGL is the Tarper, which we're going to talk about later, but some teams like Chap, again, I'll use that example. Chap leads his team, but he also leads the builds. He's at the front. But there's also phenomenal teams. Let's look at Clicks, Bizzle, and Commandment, where Bizzle is the IGL, he's the leader, he's telling everyone what to do, but he's not the Tarper. Commandment is the Tarper in that team. Again, if you look at OCE, you have the Twins and Volks. Jesse, one of the twins, is the Tarper, while Jordan is the IGL. Not every team has as clear of defined IGL role. Some top tier pros, all three players kind of share the role of talking about what's happening, but only the best of the best players can get away with that. If you're not used to that, if you're new to competitive Fortnite, make sure one person in your team is assigned as the leader. If they make a call, everyone else has to follow it. It's a very old kind of like saying, but everyone making the wrong decision on a team is still better than 3 different people making separate right decisions. You need to follow the leader's comms, you need to follow their calls, and you need to trust them. Role number 2, the Fragger. This is the mechanical demon. This is the person on the team that you know most often is going to have the most eliminations. They're usually the one in the friend group that you know has the best mechanics. They sit in creative all day. They do wages all day. They're just phenomenally skillful when it comes to their mechanics. This is the kind of person that you want on the back side of the tunnels, sitting at the back, looking for free eliminations on everyone they can find. They're the one who gets up on a wall, they put a cone on top of someone's head, and they destroy them. This is the person who needs to sit at the back and make sure they have someone smart telling them where to go and what to do, and then they have someone tarping for them and building for them because their mechanics are wasted just building tunnels. They're a lot better than that. They're the fastest at editing. They have the best aim. That's the kind of person you want. This is your clicks. This is your Benji Fishy. These are the people who, while they might be smart players in their own right, obviously Benji Fishy, a phenomenal solo player, but when it comes to trios, they get to not think as much about if they're going to go for height, are they going to go low ground. They get to put all their focus in just getting eliminations, getting those materials, and then taking them back to the Tarper. This is the hard part with a lot of trios because this is arguably the most fun role. Most people want to be the Fragger. They want to sit back, they want to be able to wipe whole trios, they want to just shoot people. I understand that, but every trio needs to have the mix. If you have 3 fraggers, it's going to break down. You're all talking, you're all badgering, you don't know what's happening. All of a sudden, you're at the front of the tarp. Who has the mats? I don't have it. Do you have the launch pad? Are we going high ground? What's happening? It breaks down. 3 fraggers, even though you're all mechanically very skilled, does not work. You need someone leading the team and telling them what to do. So if you want to become a fragger, if you think that's going to be your role, you are someone who's going to have very, very good mechanics. That's basically it. That's what you need. Very good mechanics, but you can still listen to the communication of others. Now, these are the kind of people who normally are better in solo roles. They're normally the younger player. Just make sure that if you find a team and you are the fragger, you are still listening to the leader. You're saying that you are smarter than me. You have the clear direction. You know what's going on because the IGL is freed up to look at high ground. They get to look down. They're not just looking for constant eliminations. But don't get carried away. Don't get too greedy. If you're the fragger, your job is to get eliminations for points, but it's also to get materials and take them back to people on front side, which is going to be your Tarper, which we'll talk about next. They're going to run out of materials if you're not giving them your refreshes. So if you want to improve your skills as a fragger, it's just purely mechanics. Make sure you find a team that complements that. Now, the third role, last but not least, is the Tarper. This role is quite often overlooked. A lot of people think, hey, I can build tunnels. It's not that hard. Stair tunnels, open face tunnels, doesn't matter. They're all really easy. And that's true. Mechanically, tunnels are not that hard. But knowing when to use which tunnel, which direction to go, and how you're going to get above or down elevation is extremely difficult and very, very crucial skill to have. So obviously, if you're going to be suited to being a Tarper, you need to be able to do very good tunnels and tarps. They're really not hard. I feel like this is the role that if you're wanting to get into competitive Fortnite, you want to get into like kind of arena and stuff, tarping is a good spot to start because you can just go into a creative match and just practice your tunnels. Open face tunnels, stair tunnels, solo tarps, you can just go and practice them. You don't need to have friends to wager against or do like box fights against. Just go and practice by yourself. But you need to have really good game knowledge. That's the thing. You need to know where to go and how to get there. I see way too many people building perfect tunnels, but on a congested layer. They'll have 3 people next to them. They're running straight into a team that's in front of them. They're doing solo stair tarps and there's a team on high ground firing rockets to their teammates. You need to be able to play for your team. So as much as mechanically it might not be the hardest role, you don't have to have maybe the same level of brain as the IGL because they're kind of taking in everything. You're just tarping. But sometimes the IGL will be the Tarper. I talked before about players like Chap. They will lead their team from the front. He is the one tarping them in. He is getting them into zone, but he's also looking for things around him, which gets quite difficult, but it does work. Now, if you want to be the Tarper, you just have to make sure that you have clear communications of your material too. Make sure you're telling the IGL and your fragger at the backside how many mats you're on and what you're losing. At the same time, you need to learn which tunnels to use and when. Again, all these kind of things I'm going to do in future videos when I break down exactly what each role is, and then kind of maybe VOD review players that fit that role. Like I'll go in and I'll show you how Chap does his tunnels and when to do them. But for the most part, I'm just breaking them down in basics today. So if you think this role suits you, you're going to want to try and find an IGL, or you're going to want to maybe adapt more of that IGL style and pick up 2 mechanical fraggers. You're going to be the unsung hero of the group. I'm not going to lie. You're going to be the one that your teammates are going to have 7 and 8 eliminations. You only have 2. They're cheering and going crazy and talking about how they fragged out endgame because you're the one who died first because you're on the front side of the tunnel. But their success is on the back of you. Make sure that people know the worth of your role. When you find a team, I feel like the Tarper quite often gets left behind when it comes to the praise. You're worth a lot. It's definitely a skill worth having. But if you do want to add a bit more value to the team, you think you have more to offer, maybe take up that kind of co-IGL role. Maybe trying to talk about looking for high ground, looking for when you should go ultimate low. Make those decisions that an IGL might make, even if you don't have all the game knowledge to be a purely straight IGL. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. I know I didn't go into too much detail about, when the Tarper should be doing stair tunnels versus doing open face tunnels, when the Fragger should be looking for a low ground elimination, when the IGL should go for height. That's going to come in later videos, I promise you. I'm going to make this a series and I'm going to be pumping out a bunch of content on it. I'm going to break down players who fit each of these roles. Like again, maybe I'll do a Chap VOD review and I'll teach you how to IGL and Tarp. And then I'll do a Clicks VOD review and I'll show you how he picks up his frags. That's the plan. So if you liked today's video, please chuck a like on it. If you want to see that content, make sure you subscribe with post notifications on, and let me know in the comment section down below, what role are you and who would you like me to VOD review to pick up their skills so they can better improve your gameplay, so I know who to start with. Honestly guys, thank you so much for watching my videos. They're doing really well right now and it motivates me so much, so please keep the support coming. If you have any questions or you want to check out my other content, please check out my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/AussieAntics. I stream a lot of this content live, pretty much all the background footage is always on there, and I love hearing your guys' thoughts and getting your questions. I watch all the major tournaments for NA East, NA West, and OCE. So if there's a Cash Cup on, if there's FNCS, swing by and have a chat with me. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you, and yeah, have a good one.